And now, Raw, SmackDown, and ECW present WWE Survivor Series.
All right. Let's get this one over with. Survivor Series 2006. I have said on this channel many times, this is one of my all-time least favorite pay-per-views. I love the Ruthless Aggression era. I love the early 2000s, late 90s. But my God. Okay, so the first match we had was the first of 3 Survivor Series traditional matches. We had Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Ron Simmons, and Sergeant Slaughter, and they were accompanied by Arn Anderson himself, versus Kenny, Johnny, Nikki, and Mikey from the Spirit Squad. This is a real hell of an opener for you folks. So basically, you have half of the participants on Ric Flair's team just booted out. Ron Simmons is kicked, or not Ron Simmons. Well, yeah, he was basically kicked out. You have Arn Anderson kicked out. Fuck me. You know, this would have been a good way to put Spirit Squad over if this match would have been taken seriously. I like the Spirit Squad. To me, it's one of those things. It's kind of like the modern day Baron Corbin, where it's so bad that it draws heat. But, you know, and like they know it's going to draw heat, so they make it, they piss you off on purpose. So I like the Spirit Squad, and this is just a joke. This should have just been a dark match. Just put this on Sunday Night Heat or something, or Velocity. I don't care. God. And then, you know, we have Chris Benoit versus Chavo Guerrero. This is an okay United States title match. It was really kind of, you know, you involved Vicky Guerrero, which was cool to see. Kind of the early inklings of her character. And, you know, this match was okay. I think they had better matches. And I don't know, it just kind of felt like maybe they didn't quite have as much chemistry as you would hope. You know, because they were riding on the whole Eddie Guerrero story. And I just don't think you needed that. Just, you know, they're two great competitors. I say Chris Benoit is one of the greatest of all time. And Chavo Guerrero, he's a decent, you know, solid competitor. So I just think maybe the whole Eddie Guerrero storyline, just kind of take that out of it and give him some real heat. And, you know, we have Lita versus Mickie James for the Women's Championship. Okay. I love Lita. She is one of my all-time favorite women's wrestlers. Probably is my all-time favorite women's wrestler, actually. And for this to be the way she goes out, I understand she was working as a heel. You had her as the pathetic heel who, you know, was drawing heat and all that. That's fine. But you kind of felt for her because she had been through a lot in the last year. You know, obviously even some of 2004. You know, 2004, 5, and 6 were rough years for Lita. She had made a lot of decisions that were very unpopular, obviously. You had the love triangle. She was injured. A lot was going wrong with Lita, and it was very clear that she just needed time away. So this was billed as her final match, similar to Trish Stratus. And this was just embarrassing. You know, I'm not saying you got to put her over, but at least have her look respectable on her way out. And, you know, you had Crime Time selling all her shit, which is entertaining, but still, it's just, I felt bad for Lita. I think she deserved a lot better. You know, this is a good way to get like Melina or Jillian Hall or someone out of there. Not Lita. Not one of the all-time greats for women's wrestling. And then we have another traditional Survivor Series match. D-Generation X, CM Punk, the Hardys versus Rated RKO, Johnny Nitro, Mike Knox, and Gregory Helms. Sounds like it's going to be good. This match got a tiny little bit over 10 minutes. And DX, basically, their entire team survived, buried everyone else, made Randy Orton look like a dumbass, made fucking Edge look weak. Oh, son of a bitch. You know, you couldn't, and it's just, of course, you know, like, DX was just the spotlight here. CM Punk was highly, highly over with this crowd. They were chanting CM Punk almost the entire match. Even the Hardys didn't get much to do. I think Jeff Hardy, I don't even know if he got tagged in. He did a swanton and, like, a fucking suicide dive. That's about it. That's it. That's all he did. Like, I don't know if he just showed up high that night and they're just like, well, I mean, just put him to the side. But it's just like, I don't know. I just don't understand this match. I didn't back then and I still don't. It's just a way to put DX over. And I'm fine with 2006 DX. 2009 DX is where I have a problem. But 2006 DX was decent. You know, they had their kind of campy, childish moments. But at the same time, it was entertaining. But this is just bad. This match was just embarrassing and has no redeeming qualities. Kind of like this pay-per-view. There's one redeeming quality. And that is Undertaker versus Mr. Kennedy in a First Blood match. This match isn't great. It's not even honestly good. But they had a good working chemistry. And I give them credit for that. You know, we had MVP, who had kind of newly, you know, was kind of working his way into the roster. You know, he had gotten involved. He hit Taker with a steel chair by accident. Taker got busted open. And Kennedy won the match. So it was kind of a 50-50 booking thing where you had Kennedy win, but then Taker just whacked him with a chair. One of the loudest chair shots I have ever seen. You know, I love chair shots to the head. I don't care. Fuck 2019. I love steel chair shots to the head. You know, it's just, you don't need them all the time, but it's times like this where it's just like, holy shit. And this is an example of maybe you shouldn't hit him that hard. Like, this is why people have a problem with chair shots. This chair shot is one of the reasons. But, damn, it was good. So, they had a great rivalry there. And then we have another traditional Survivor Series match. John Cena, Kane, Bobby Lashley, Sabu, and RVD versus Big Show, Test, MVP, Finlay, and Umaga. This match is basically worthless. We had John Cena and Bobby Lashley being the surviving members of the team. And, you know, last eliminating Big Show. You had John Cena getting the FU. This was when people were really getting tired of John Cena. And I can see why. You know, I like John Cena in hindsight, but back then I wasn't really a fan. And it's just, you can see why. This match really just had no implications, no purpose. It just felt thrown on there. And then finally, I don't want to talk about this. We have the main event. King Booker versus Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship. Batista's last chance, as always. It's always Batista who gets last chance matches. Because he had one with Edge, too. But, you know, this was Batista, of course. Same building he gave the title up at. You know, he's chasing the gold. And I like Batista. Don't get me wrong. I hate King Booker, though. And these two absolutely hated each other. I think it was at one of the SummerSlam vignette shoots that they had gotten into it, started a fight and all that. They just hated each other. And to this day, I don't think they really even reconciled. So they had personal issues. But look at Edge and Matt Hardy. Their personal issues, that was your strength of that rivalry. Whereas this rivalry, there was just no strength. Like, you have two guys who hate each other. That can work sometimes, and sometimes you can tell they're just phoning it in because they don't want to work with each other. I'd rather them go in there and bash each other's heads in, because at least they're trying, at least they're simulating a fight. This main event was dull, it was boring and predictable. Basically like this pay-per-view. So in terms of a letter grade, not going to give it an F. There's worse pay-per-views out there. But I'm legit going to give this pay-per-view a D-. I've always hated Survivor Series 2006. It's one that I hated going back and rewatching. Some people like it, which I don't really understand. But, you know, you do you. Whatever you like, that's what you like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. For now, this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.